Hello everyone, this is one in a series of videos that I'll be doing on new features in the Infinity Fleet system. Today we'll be talking about one of the most exciting new tools in the Fleet system, the frame roll gauge. The frame roll gauge allows you to measure at any point on the vehicle for twist and roll. Now, if you see here, I've already got my torque box set up. The frame roll gauge will work with any torque box setup, not just the one that I have here. If you don't know how to set up a side rail torque box like the one I have here, I suggest you watch my video on Setup Assistant with the side rail torque box. If you do know how to set this up, then we can go ahead and get started. Now if you see here, you'll need to attach your frame roll gauge to the frame and then insert your stem into the cutout and slide it down there. Once you've done that, it should look like this with two targets hanging from your frame roll gauge. It's important that you place your frame roll gauge in the exact center of any rail that you're measuring, as any natural roll in the rail from the manufacturing process will show up if you don't. You can also slide your targets up and down that frame roll gauge in order to make sure that they're making contact with the laser. So if at any point something is obstructing it, you can slide it target forward or back in order to bring it into the range of the laser. Now if I put those two and line them up with the scanner, you can see those slowly walk down into position. Now you do want to make sure that those gray dots have settled in completely before doing your frame roll analysis, or you won't get an accurate measurement. And they're in place. Perfect. Then we'll go up to the frame roll analysis button up in our top corner there and make sure that the targets are pointed at the scanner. Now once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit continue. And you'll see this box pop up. That's your frame roll analysis. You get height measurements for both, and then it compares those. So you see we have a 0.6 degree angle in our frame, which is pretty minimal, and as you can see, our frame is straight. These frames are represented looking from the front of the vehicle, so if you see it go to the right or the left, that's from the front of the vehicle. Alright, once we've done that, we can hit frame roll analysis again, and we're going to go ahead and hit add. When you hit add, that will actually freeze this box and leave it on the screen, but it'll allow you to move your frame roll gauge to another point on the frame. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is take that frame roll gauge off of the frame. You just see those gray dots drop out there as I take it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it further down the frame. Now you can see those gray dots are back. They're going to go ahead and walk to the position that I placed my frame roll gauge at. Again, you're going to want to wait to make sure that those dots settle in so you get an accurate measurement. Anytime you move the frame roll gauge, you're going to want to make sure that you readjust your targets so that they're being hit in the white target window and that they're pointed directly at the scanner and getting as much of the laser beam as possible. So once you're in place, you go ahead and hit continue on that box and it'll add another frame roll analysis. There you go. You see we get our heights again. We have a 0.4 difference, again, pretty minimal, so you can see that our frame is straight in this image. Now say you do have some damage on your frame, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and move your frame roll gauge into the damage area. So we'll hit frame roll analysis again and we'll hit add. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the frame roll gauge and move it to that damaged portion of our frame. So you can see again those dots will drop out. Now if you ever have a frame where the roll is too much to be measured just by sliding the stems in, you can always use magnetic adapters on the holes on the side. Depending on how serious the roll is, you may not be able to get both targets within view of the scanner by using the same stem, in which case you may want to use a half stem or an entirely different stem altogether. The main thing is to make sure that the laser is hitting your target within the white target window and that it's not hitting it at the edges, which will affect your measurements. Alright, and now you see we are moving into position now. Those gray dots are settling in. Make sure that you wait until they've settled in completely. Alright, we're walking out here. Alright, and we're in place, so we can go ahead and hit continue. There we go. And now you see another box pops up overlapping that other box. And now we do actually have 4.5 degrees of twist in our frame, so that's actually pretty extreme, and now it's indicating that it's twisted into the frame, and that again, that's looking from the front of our frame. Now you can click between the boxes if they ever overlap, so you can always see what you're looking for just by clicking from one box to another. You can have up to 16 frame roll analysis windows open on your frame at any given time, and those can be used on either the right or left rail. You can always change tolerances for roll by going up to options and selecting preferences. By changing these, you will determine at what point the system will indicate roll in the frame. So you can do 1, 2, 5 degrees, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and leave this at 2. That just about completes this video on frame roll analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.